Hello everyone, shadedmazoku here, still in the creepiness of Magus' castle. This time we're going to go deal with Flea, which makes me happy. I guess we better do something about that. Because Flea is, not so secretly, my absolutely favorite character, well, NPC character anyway. And, well, I'm happy to see it. Always happy to see my favorite characters. So yeah, that makes me a happy bunny, I suppose. Not that I'm a bunny in any shape or form. Oh, let's see, who will I be using least in that battle? It's kind of important that I know. Because... you had me worried sick. Children, this night they deserve to be punished. I'm kind of getting bored with this already. Not that... just generally bored with it. Should be able to get all three of them, but okay. I haven't set the... of course I forget to set the timer again, even if it's on my lap. When you fight Flea, just like with Slash, there's two stages. The first stage is quite easy to deal with, but it will leave you drained of MP. So always remember to use a character whose magic you won't be using much. Which means for me at this point... oh, insert. No, not insert. I just want to heal up a bit. On one side, Chrono has lightning and spin cut. On the other hand, Frog has the heal, and I don't have much magic left. I don't have much. Since I can't switch Frog out, that's kind of... I don't have any more mid-tonics. I have heals, and those probably gonna be useful. I'm definitely going to be using Lucca's magic. Actually, I'm just gonna look at who... he's got magic 15, he's got magic 12, she's got magic 29. I'm just gonna use... so here we're gonna fight a bit. Magician Flea, I presume. Yeah. It steals your MP, so always use the character you probably will least use the magic of. This isn't Flea. Where's the real Flea? Over here? Yeah, I told you that that was significant. There we go with Flea. Driving it up, little tadpole. Hey, who are you? Keep your guard up. This is no ordinary woman. Meet Flea, the magician. What the? Hey, I'm a guy. Yeah. Flea's gender is a bit... but hey, who cares? Really? Gender, I don't see the point with stressing over gender. If I was going to say Flea is probably what they call genderqueer, which is a state of not really feeling like one or the other. Yeah, this is why Flea is a... well, something that rhymes with witch. Although I suppose you could argue that Flea is in fact a witch, being a magic user and all. I'm just gonna take a mid-ether with him. physical defense isn't really going to do much against Flea. Because Flea's main damage source is never going to be physical attacks. It's going to be those. Heal. No poisons on you. It's kind of pointless to, you know, fight a magician with. It's pointless if you're a magician, you're going to be fighting with, well, magic. And all of Flea's attacks are... Flea's pretty much got all attacks all of them. And that lead to status effects. Which makes this battle one of the more tricky ones in the game, actually. You wouldn't think so, because Flea doesn't exactly look scary now, does he? I mean, he's a pretty man in a dress, so why did I heal on her? I wasn't point. Oh well. He's a pretty guy in a dress, so he's not exactly going to be the scariest guy around. But he is rather capable at magic. Which makes... And this is probably one of the most annoying ones, because chaos hurts. Well, when it actually hits anyway. Thankfully. It doesn't usually hit. And the whole Void Mage thing does kind of explain why this background's there. As I said, Flea is one of my favorite characters, so I always find it fun to be able to fight against him. Also, as a warning, because this is typically the place it would come in, I don't appreciate any homophobic slurs or similar against people with alternate gender expressions. I happen to be a supporter of LGBT rights for everyone, including no matter what their physical gender, sex and gender and all that. It's really, when everything comes to everything, it doesn't really matter. I do love how the sight keeps my background keeps getting knocked out. Basically what we have here is the simple fact Flea's a pretty princess. And if he happens to be a male pretty princess, well... There was actually quite a bit of there's been quite a bit of a, well, I wouldn't say controversy, but discussion around what Flea's real gender is. Because he doesn't exactly look like a male, even if he claims to be one. But in Chrono Cross, you can fight Flea at one point, and every enemy in that game have their genders indicated. And it indicates that yes, Flea is male. He's just a very feminine looking male. suppose if I were to guess his... because gender is more fluent than people seem to think, I'd say he's probably he's male, but he expresses feminine. He expresses in a feminine way, and well, so it really doesn't matter in the end. And the only time what's in someone's... there we go. The only time where someone's gender is really applicable is if you're planning on sleeping with them anyway, so why people get so overly worn up about it, I don't know. I wasn't going to do that again, arg. Because I'm kind of dead at this point. But I wanted to have a vampiric weapon. I love vampiric weapons. I think it's one of the best things ever. Actually... and I really need it now, but sadly there aren't any... Well, the magician you get later on has some similarities with some of his weapons, but they're not actually vampiric. More's the annoyance. And I got really rambly about the whole thing with around Flea, didn't I? Sorry about that. But I find well, I find gender dynamics interesting, and there's always this concept that there's something wrong with a man who wants to be girly. Or wants to be feminine, I suppose. And I don't know, it sort of annoys me. Because, well, these days at least, nobody really cares if a boy is wearing... if a girl's wearing trousers. Sure, go ahead, wear trousers. But if you're a man and you want to wear a skirt, you immediately get all... oh... people get all idiotic about it. And there's no real difference. What does it hurt you? If a guy is wearing a skirt, it doesn't really hurt anyone. So... I don't know. I'm not much of a prude or anything like that, but I do think that when it comes to actual sexual things, they should be kept in the bedroom, in private. But... that's, well, sex. I don't think anyone should run around outside wearing lingerie, whether they're a boy or a girl. But if a guy wants to put on a dress and makeup, what does that matter? It doesn't hurt anyone. If you don't want to look at it, you can always look in a different direction. There's a lot of women who wear things they really shouldn't be wearing either. Nothing more. I don't find it particularly attractive if you have women in their 50s wearing wearing these little tights with leopard print and a way too short skirt and a way too tight top. I don't find that particular, but it doesn't really hurt anyone. You could always look somewhere else. But for some reason we've... oh, how are those not close enough? Come on, Luca. Okay, go after the henchman, the flame. The sorcerers first, because those can actually heal. Also, their attacks are more. The same thing with homosexuality in general. I'm not saying that wearing a dress has anything to do with homosexuality, because it doesn't. Most transvestites are in fact straight. Male lesbians, as Adiesud loves to say. But it kind of applies in the same way that people, oh, that's something wrong, it's unnatural, which it isn't. There's a lot of homosexuality in nature. But in general, as long as it's not in your face, who does it hurt? What somebody does in the privacy of their own home shouldn't in any way affect anyone. And of course, to me, this is probably one of the more important things to me, because I'm bisexual myself, or technically speaking I'm pansexual, but I don't feel like trying. That's a bit of a... I was going to say a clusterfuck, but that's very bad language. But that's pretty much the nature of it, yes. My sexuality is a bit of a... well, clusterfuck. Pansexuality is the ability to be attracted to someone independent of gender or sex. And because to me, the things I'm attracted to are not gender specific. Oh, they can be. There are certain things I find attractive that are, but I suppose it's a cliché to say that you're attracted to personality, not gender, but personality. But that's what really is important to me. And yes, there are certain other things I really like in people. I'm a sucker for high cheekbones, nice eyes, things like that. Voices. I'm very audio-oriented about that, but those things don't really matter in a gender way. And to have someone put so much weight on it, and it doesn't... Ooh, frog learned heal. Thank God for that. I'm going to heal. I'm going to need that. Definitely. Also, it's a... So yeah, that's my rant about sexuality. Unless it actually affects you in any way, it's none of your business. If you see a man who happens to be wearing a dress, what does it matter? If nothing, it makes a good story when you come back home the day. Oh, I saw a man wearing a dress today. Oh, well, really? It's nothing more than that. And if you see a woman who wears what you'd traditionally consider a lesbian to wear, which apparently includes short hair, a leather jacket and plaid. But, you know, what does it matter? And even if you know someone's gay or lesbian or transsexual, unless you're actually intending to do something about it in any way, it's none of your business. And if you're actually thinking about, you know, getting involved with them, and you know, even if you know they're lesbian or gay or transsexual or something else, asexual, it's a valid sexuality, pansexual, and that does not mean we're easy. It just means, you know, less... Gender doesn't stop us. But if you're actually interested enough, and you still know this, and you're interested, then it's not really a problem, is it? I suppose if you're in love with a woman, and you're a man, and she's a lesbian, that's a problem. But that's the same thing about being if you're in love with a straight woman, that doesn't immediately mean she's going to be interested in you just because you're straight. It's the same thing with... Oh, great. I'm rambling now, but the same thing with men who, oh, he's gay, he's probably going to sleep with me. Men who say that might probably have female friends. Does a woman immediately want to sleep with a man just because she likes men? No. Why should a gay man do so? So yes, discrimination sucks. That's pretty much my point of this. Don't discriminate. Be nice to people. Or no, if they're jerks, you can be mean to them, but then you should be mean to them because they're jerks, not because they happen to be, you know, a gay jerk, or, for that matter, a jerk of a different skin color or a different religion. I don't judge people by that. I judge people by how they behave. And if you're an asshole, you're an asshole, no matter what your religion, your race, your sexuality, doesn't matter. It's your actions that matters. It's who you are and what you do with it. And I'm going to stop rambling now, because this is really becoming a rant. But it's something that's quite important to me, and thus I ramble. And then we're going to continue chasing after Magus instead. See you all then.